Will you start fast?
Jacqueline Legere gets out to a nice early lead.
Anticipate every curve.
Refuse to be beaten on the line.
Oh, the last push just took it away from Anais.
What happens when your legs are burning?
Stock Rockall goes down.
When you're getting shoved around.
Oh, it's a big battle, elbow to elbow.
When reality crushes your strategy.
And Nas is down already.
Will your skill,
Your training, your desire.
Match this moment.
we're about to find out.
Red Bull Crash Ties Boston.
Fenway Park.
Fenway Park?
Yeah, Fenway Park. Starts right now.
Fire and ice at iconic Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts, the city of champions. Today we're making history in ice cross downhill with our first ever event in a stadium setting. This is the ATSX 1000 Red Bull Crashed Ice, and tonight the best ice cross downhill athletes in the world will compete for points and glory. My name is Troy Mannering, and joining me is a former racer, our expert Reed Whiting.
Thanks, Troy. With the storied history of Fenway Park and the excitement generated around the city for this crashed ice race, these riders will no doubt have memories that'll last a lifetime.
Well, this is something which has generated a lot of excitement for our athletes.
I'm extremely excited to be here in Fenway Park. First time an event for us has ever been inside of a stadium, and I think this would be a good one to start in.
It was built back in 1912. Lots of famous games here, movies, etc. filmed, and it's a first for our sport, and it's something very special.
As bummed as I am that it wasn't coming to St. Paul this year and getting that home crowd, I'm so excited that it's coming out east. I think that's going to be really good for the sport to spread it across the country here and really grow it and take it to the next level.
Kyle Croxall makes the pass on the inside, and Kyle Croxall's got a win.
I think it's super awesome to have Kyle back in the top of the standings. Obviously, he had a couple tough years,
Are you kidding me?
but he's a world champion. He knows what it takes to win, and I hope we can both be on the podium this weekend.
We both want that win. As long as one of us gets it, that's great, but I think it's my year.
Yeah, this is the one to win. I'm taking it step by step, and maybe that's the one for me.
Of course, I'm more hungry.
Mirko Lahti could well take the win here.
Second in US Plus, so I'm hunting down the first place here.
My goal is to stay consistent, stay on my feet,
Nas goes down very early on.
and just race confident out there and enjoy this unique experience in Fenway Park.
Well, athletes from 22 nations are competing here in Boston, and one of this sport's brightest stars is searching for some redemption here.
No doubt about that, Troy. You know, American Cameron Nas was actually the championship leader and the fastest rider just a week ago in Finland, but hit a rut in the ice and went down in the round of 32, which almost never happens with this guy. Now, this Fenway Park track requires a little more skill, a little more technical, which should be right up in his wheelhouse, so let's see what happens.
Well, last week's winner in Finland, Canadian Kyle Croxall, currently sits atop the overall standings. Two-time junior world champion Mirko Lahti is close behind in second, and Kyle's younger brother Scott, the reigning world champion, is holding on to third spot, just 280 points ahead of fourth place Cameron Nas.
Now, reigning world champion Amanda Trunzo actually played college hockey just a little bit north of here at Dartmouth College. Last week in Finland, at the longest track of the year, she managed to hold off a chasing, dominating heat of girls to take her third win in a row.
Trunzo is just behind Canadian stuntwoman Jacqueline Legere in the World Championship standings. Legere won back-to-back titles in 16 and 17. Switzerland's Anaïs Moran's second place finish last week has vaulted her into third place overall, and she's been very strong. Now, there are 9 races on 3 continents in this season's ATSX Ice Cross Downhill World Championship Series, with 3 levels of competition giving the points needed for the overall title. Here is more on the fastest sport on skates. Fast, physical, tactical. This is Red Bull Crashed Ice. Men and women, as well as juniors from over 22 different countries, race down towering ice tracks at speeds of up to 80 kilometers an hour. Heats of 4 skaters, or riders, compete head-to-head, with the fastest 2 advancing until 4 are left standing for the final. Red Bull Crashed Ice is the top level of competition at the ATSX Ice Cross Downhill World Championship, with a maximum 1,000 points available. Together with the supporting ATSX 500 and 250-point events, there are plenty of chances for the riders to earn valuable championship points. After all 9 events, the riders with the highest number of points will be crowned the 2018-19 Ice Cross Downhill World Champions. This beautiful 350-meter-long track filled with devastating drops, bumps, and sharp turns will challenge the riders from the start. Let's take a closer look at our first ever track in a stadium setting. From the start, which is situated atop the grandstands of the stadium, the riders will be immediately put to the test over the first drop, accumulating speed towards the Kia curved turn, a 180-degree technical wall ride. Skating is key over the next 2 right-hand turns under the track to the Sam Adams deck drop. Immediately following that, the riders will have a ton of speed for the next straight and 2 back-to-back drops heading like a freight train to the BF Goodrich tire section. Then it's a burner of an uphill straight to reach the quarter drop to gain speed once again for the third base spine, the last major obstacle before the sprint stretch to the home plate finish line. The centerpiece here is the track. It took workers a combined 35,000 hours over a period of 6 weeks to turn Fenway Park into an ice cross downhill playground. There are approximately 19,000 pieces of steel scaffolding in the structure alone, and it's a really sexy course here. It's the talk of the town, and our own Reed Whiting was one of the very first to skate it.
Rider ready!
All right, world, let me show you how to hit a Grand Slam Red Bull Crashed Ice style. Here we go. Good start here, a little tricky. Wow, the ice is super fast. And I just overshot that part. Almost went down through the Kia corner, but I'm on my feet. It's one of the few sessions we can skate in. Okay, coming down to the line drive stretch. Here we got 3 drops in a row, and the ice is fast. Oh my God. It's like light speed into the BF Goodrich corner. Staying low, almost slipping out. These couple rollers are tough. Gotta come up. All right, third base spine coming up. The most difficult part of the course. And can I do it? Ooh, nice. Okay, 2 rollers headed for home plate. And I'm gonna slide in. Safe. Woo! Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play, baby. Fenway Park, Red Bull Crashed Ice. Let's do it. Woo! What's up, boys? These are my friends.
Well, Boston has pulled out all the stops with a full-on pyrotechnics show here just before we get going with our round of 32. We're going to take a quick look back at one particular heat in the round of 64, and that is heat number 13 with Luca Delago, Eli Kreider, Manu Ameli, and Derek Wedge. Now, the special thing about this one is Derek Wedge was actually born here in Boston, and his dad is here. And this is a special thing for him as we take a look back at this race, Lee.
Yeah, it was a good reunion, he said, for his family. A lot of people he hasn't seen in a while, so he was able to come here. They're all here cheering him on. But unfortunately for Wedge, he had a little disqualification there in that corner. He was able to grab Kreider around the back, spin him out, and that was no doubt a disqualification. Eli went and hit the buzzer, and that was it for him. Let's watch it right here. He has his arm around the back, pulls him, kind of twists him out of whack. You know, the thing is there, Wedge actually had the outside line and may have been able to make the pass without that move, but that was just enough for the judge to say, hey, you're out.
So an unfortunate disqualification for Derek Wedge means we won't be seeing him anymore today, but we got lots of racing still to come. Round of 32, heat 1 in the gates with Cameron Naas, Richard van Wiehe from Sweden, Shane Renault from Canada, and Joni Saarinen, the junior from Finland.
Warning.
Great start by Joni Saarinen, who tries to pinch off Cameron Naas and Rikard van Wiehe, but unfortunately gets pinched back himself. Naas is just a little bit too strong, and he's looking great on this course. Good solid lead. Here comes Shane Renaud, though. He's been showing some absolute skill enjoying this course. Renaud goes hard into the BF Goodrich tire corner and manages to get by Rikard van Wiehe and Joni Saarinen for second place. This one's an easy win, though, for Cameron Naas. And Shane Renaud is going to be moving on to the quarterfinals. Good battle by Saarinen and van Wiehe, but unfortunately, just at that BF Goodrich tire turn, it wasn't enough.
Yeah, everything kind of fell apart there. He looks like he's thinking about hitting the buzzer. I think Saarinen kind of took him out on that BF Goodrich corner. I don't think it's going to play a factor at all, obviously, because those two are in 3 and 4, but good start by Saarinen. Van Wiehe comes in second place, looking real solid here, but Renaud just turns on the gas. Coming in really good. To see him right here in the BF Goodrich corner. He actually runs into the tire there, it looks like, Van Wiehe, and bumped him completely back. I mean, tires are rubber, so if you hit, you're going the other way. Not a good move. Nice run by Shane Renaud. Cameron Naas giving a little flash as he swipes the ice. Pretty, pretty.
And just going back to your tire statement, yeah, they're grippy, so they're going to stop you if you go around that corner.
Yeah, do not put a shoulder into that tire.
All right, our sideline reporter Jade McCarthy is down in the finish area with Cameron Naas, the winner of that first heat in the round of 32.
Sitting, standing, hey Cam, we can talk however you want. What have you made of this course tonight? 2 really fast starts.
It's really great. They did a good job on the ice this afternoon, and I hope it holds up.
What do you make of this stadium experience and this crowd inside the iconic Fenway Park?
I don't know. I can't hear you guys yet. Can we hear something?
Trying to get the crowd going at Fenway. What's it like to skate in a stadium like this?
Honestly, it's a bit of a trip. The track is so bright that you can't see anybody in the stands, so just trying to get to the bottom and then enjoy the moment.
Well, continued good luck tonight.
Thanks a lot.
All right, so a great battle through by Shane Renaud along with Cameron Naas. They will move on to quarterfinals. We'll pop through our dome and get back up to the top for heat number 2 in this one with Jim DePauli, Cale Johnstone, Daniel Bergeson, and TJ Obrecht. 3 Americans and the Swiss Jim DePauli in the mix here. And there we see Jim DePauli in all white.
Riders ready. 5-second warning.
Nice start by DePauli. Bergeson on that inside line. Toe picks and goes down quickly. And Obrecht and Johnstone trying to find a line. It is Johnstone, I believe, that has that second place at the moment. Cale Johnstone, who was not happy with a couple of decisions in the last event, was punching that button a lot, but this time he's holding down second place behind Jim DePauli. Jim DePauli's also a tall guy. He's not super wide, but you know, when he gets out in front, he's also very difficult to pass. He's got a nice win on this one. And Cale Johnstone comes across in second place. Those guys moving on to the quarterfinals.
Big run for Cale Johnstone. He needed those valuable points. It's so, and look at that mustache. Wow.
What is that anyway? There's something else going on there.
Scaring kids, man. That's what that is. Look at this start. I mean, Bergie looking real solid, but then same spot we've seen many guys overshoots it. Bam, face plant. Cale Johnstone then takes over. It's just really a battle in the back. Like, they really never had anything on Johnstone. TJ Albrecht, Daniel Bergeson battling for 2 and 3. Looks like Bergie actually took 4th place in that one, so that's real unfortunate. Not used to seeing him go out in the round of 32, but kudos to Cale Johnstone. Great heat.
So Jim DePauli, Cale Johnstone moving on to the quarterfinals. We'll set ourselves up for heat number 3 in this round. Michael Iulianello, otherwise known as Iggy from the USA, lining up along with Killian Brown from Switzerland, Dan Whitty from the USA, and Patrick Mertz from Switzerland. Here we go. This is a good-looking heat, actually. I think this is fairly evenly balanced.
5-second warning.
Oh, the anticipation of those gates drives me nuts. I always think somebody's going to bust it early, but it's Iggy getting out to a nice fast start. Patrick Mertz right in there behind him. Danwoody, excuse me, trying to find that inside line, gets pinched out by Killian Brown. Killian and Dan are actually pretty close to each other, but Killian coming into that BF Goodrich tire turn. Oh, Killian loops out, goes down. Danwoody back in third place, chasing down Patrick Mertz now. Patrick Mertz and Danwoody going hard around the outside to try and find that second place, and he's got it! Michael Julianello wins it cleanly, but Danwoody with a great push around the outside just at the finish line to pass Patrick Mertz to take second place and move on to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I did not see that coming, but you know, guys have been talking of taking crossovers around the outside, even though the inside's a little shorter line on that last corner coming over the triangle. Crossovers around the outside really picks up speed and it gained his momentum to take this one. I mean, right off the start, Mers really kind of starts separating from the pack. It was really Whitty and Braun in the back. Through right here, it looked like it was going to be an easy go as Whitty was in fourth place, but he never gave up, stayed pretty tight Mers, and we're going to see it right here. Coming over the spine after this corner. Let's watch. All right, so he's coming down. Mers takes the inside lane, Whitty on the outside. Starts crossing over, gaining speed, and that was it. I mean, when you're on the inside, you have no room to skate, and those crossovers and taking those rollers to perfection did it for Dan Whitty.
Yeah, I mean, perfect example of that skating skill by Dan Whitty. And, you know, you look in the NHL and a guy like Connor McDavid uses those crossovers to generate massive speed. Dan Whitty did the same thing here to get himself into the extra round. All right, back up to the top. Scott Croxall from Canada, Maxwell Dunn from the U.S., Jojo Velasquez also from the U.S., and Boris Orovec, who's a surprise for us, from Slovakia in this very strong heat. Lots of anticipation there, and it is Max Dunn with the quick early lead on Scott Croxall. Jojo Velasquez sitting in third place. Tough spot for him, but he's a strong skater, this kid. Max Dunn holding off Scott Croxall, but we have seen so many times in the past Scott Croxall make some incredible passes. He has such fantastic edge control, but Dunn is a big boy, and when he spreads those legs and wings, he is just hard to pass. And this one looks like it's going to be a nice and clean win by Max Dunn. Oh my goodness! Dunn goes down, and it might have a finish line picture with Orovec making another push from behind. I can't believe it. Scott Croxall takes the inside line, and we have a rider protest. Dunn pushes the button.
I'm not sure what happened there.
I'm not sure either, but because it was Scott and Dunn that were tangled up with each other. But I think it was just a lot of skating that was going on there. And Scott came over to Max and was having a quick chat with him. And it doesn't look like there's any animosity. So it's going to come down to the review for us. And I'm really curious to get your take on this one.
No, the way Scotty came over there, it's almost like he knew he wronged him in some way. I didn't see it. They might have just bumped into each other, come through those rollers, but it obviously threw Max off his game. And out of nowhere, let's watch this over here, coming to the U-turn. Everything looking good. Now Orovec makes a nice pass on Velasquez, pushing him to the outside. Dunn's in first place coming in here. They're just kind of taking it easy over the roller, no issues. See, jumping one roller, two, and Dunn just loses it. Now,
I didn't see any touch in there.
No, I don't think anything happened.
Let's see right here. This is a different angle that might help us.
There's no touching. Nope, nothing. Scotty just went on the inside, and Dunn just lost his footing there. Now, the question is, whose skate went across first?
Orovec.
Orovec. Looks like Orovec took that one away from him. Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
But here's another question. You have to go across and control. Now, Dunn was already fallen, so you can't fault him. Orovec kind of kicked his legs out, so that is questionable to me, but I think they're giving it to Orovec.
But I saw that Orovec did come across with that. It almost looked like he was out of control, but then he went into a mohawk. And, yeah, we see now protest denied. So Orovec is going to get to keep that one, and he's moving on to the second round, or the quarterfinals. That is a fantastic effort by him, though. And this guy, I mean, he's been surprising all day long. So Boris Oravec in there with Scott Croxall.
Yeah, he's been staying in the mix. You know, he's gotten really lucky 2 heats in a row, but he was right there to take advantage of it, so good for him.
Okay, back to the top. Marco Delago from Austria, former world champion. Paavo Klintrup from Finland. This is going to be his last official race. He's retiring after this. Matt Johnson from the USA along with Tyler Whitty. Wow, dead even start by all 3 or all 4 guys.
Tyler Whitty goes down. Matt Johnson
goes down. Marco goes down. Oh my goodness.
Marco is hurt.
Marco is hurt. Hopefully not badly. He's up there at the Kia curve turn. And Johnson and Whitty are chasing each other, trying to catch up with Paavo Klintrup. This is the swan song for Paavo, so he wants to do well. He's out in front right now. Johnson in second place. And you can hear the fans from the American side there screaming as Johnson comes around that last corner into second place. Tyler Whitty comes across in third, so that's all we're going to see from him. And good to see that Marco is up and skating. Looks like he's favoring that right shoulder. Hopefully he's okay. It'll be interesting to see if he comes down and crosses the line to make a protest. Doesn't look like it. He's getting some crowd participation as he is going to make a final drop into this quarter. Oh no, obviously he's not hurting that badly then.
Putting on a little show for the fans. It's all about the fans. Yeah, I want to see this replay because, God, chaos ensued up there. I mean, guys were dropping like flies. I think Marco might have got kicked in the head. I don't know what happened, but he was definitely stunned. Let's watch this start. Marco really good out of the gate. Now, what is happening is the same thing. Everybody is hitting that flat, going down. Now, right here, I'm not sure what happened. It looks like Johnson,
Oh, he had head first in that Kia corner.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was a light or what happened, but he smoked the Kia corner. Let's watch this. Just taking the corner a little too hard and just completely turnbuckle himself. And then Whitty's skate went into his head on top of it.
And Whitty did the alley-oop turn to get back on his feet and keep going.
But nice finishing touch. The Superman slide. Marco Delago, you are my superhero.
Attaboy. So right now, down in the finish area, Jade is with Marco to get a couple of comments from him on that heat.
All right, Marco, take me through that. What happened up there?
Oh my God, I forgot my Red Sox today. That's really was a bad decision. And honestly, I just tried to make it to the last inning without 3 strikes, but what can you do?
You've been studying about taking a part of this crashed ice inside this ballpark, I can tell. You told me you love this track and we're looking forward to tonight. How tough is it to not be able to continue on here?
The toughest part is I love this track, as you said, and to nail it like 3 more times would be awesome, but now I watch my brother, and I hope he goes for the win. And, you know, let's party.
We appreciate it, Marco. Continued good luck this season.
Thanks, Jade.
Okay, looking at the replays there, I'm a little more clear on what happened. See, Johnstown caught an edge, and as he bumped into Marco, he pushed Marco into that wall, so it wasn't that Marco misjudged it. Oh, that's cute, Matt Johnson. It wasn't that Marco misjudged it, it was that, you know, he just got thrown there. So unfortunate, that's just part of racing.
Yeah, throwing out a bunch of baseball references there. Good for him. All right, next round of 32 heat in the blocks now with Mirko Lahti, Tommy Mertz, Vaclav Koznar, and Alex Mercier. Great start by Mirko Lahti. He is so strong out of the gate. Tommy Mertz had a really good start earlier on, but he gets squeezed out by Koznar, and I think there's going to be some handsiness happening there. Koznar moves into second place behind Lahti, who had a good clean start and took the lead into the first corner. Now coming towards that via fitted tire turn, it's Tommy Mertz back in second place. He gets twisted out. I think we saw a Derek Wedge grab there by Koznar. Koznar back in third place. There's been changes here in second and third all over the place in this race. This would belong to Mirko Lahti, but Tommy Mertz comes across the finish line in second place, and I bet you dollars to donuts that had Vaclav Koznar come across the line in second, we would have seen Tommy Mertz hitting that button, because they were grabbing and holding each other at the top there like crazy.
Yeah, it definitely is possible. I mean, to me, it was a little different than what Wedge did there. let's watch it. There's just a lot of battling going on. Like, he's just pushing the inside. His hands were in.
Little elbow by Koznar, a shoulder check.
Yeah, that's
Tommy grabbing the pants. The both of them are guilty of a couple of hits there.
Yeah, I can't tell if Koznar was just off balance. You know, it's tough when you're skating with other guys. Your skates are hitting each other and you're kind of getting thrown around. So sometimes it's unclear, but regardless, Tommy earned his way into the quarterfinals there.
Did he ever?
No question.
Yeah, that was a battle royale from the top. It looked like a wrestling match more than skating. Great job by Tommy Mertz and Mirko Lahti to make 1 and 2 in that heat, though. And we go back to the top with Luca Delago, who we heard Marco talk about watching for the rest of the time. So he'll be crossing his fingers for him. Antti Tolvanen, Dmitri Merlichkin, and Eli Kreider in the mix here. Luca Delago with a great start. He's so fast out of the gate. Clean around the Kia curve turn. That wall ride can be tricky. Antti Tolvanen sliding into second place. Dmitri Merlichkin in third. Bubbles. Eli Kreider back in fourth. Trying to generate some speed through these transitions in the long, straight downhill towards the BF Goodrich tire turn. And Luca, he is just having himself hounded by Antti Tolvanen over the spine. Luca's in the lead solidly here. Antti Tolvanen holding on to it just across the finish line. So Delago and Tolvanen clean 1 and 2 in that one. And that was a great battle. And again, we see Antti Tolvanen and Eli Kreider and Luca Delago, all of these guys really close in this one.
Yeah, Merlichkin, I thought, had a really nice move here. Come around the inside, maybe got a little too aggressive as he tried to come inside Delago. He actually got himself pushed out to the outside by Tolvanen again, so that was kind of a mistake from a kind of a rookie rider. You know, he has just recently moved up into the upper levels, so hopefully better off for Merlichkin in the future, but congrats to Tolvanen and Delago. That was a great heat.
Yeah, and with the pressure on Tolvanen in this one as well, he didn't throw out the condor arms and block, so very good job by him in this one. All right. Last heat in the round of 32, Tristan Dujardil from France, Pacom Schmidt from France, the two friends in the heat here, with Michael Urban from the Czech Republic and Kyle Kroxall from Canada, current points leader in the overall standings. Wow. Strong start by all four of these guys. Kyle Kroxall has Tristan Dujardil right there with him. Kroxall goes down. Tristan Dujardil goes down as well, leaving it wide open for Pacom Schmidt and Michael Urban out in front.
Pacom Schmidt just totally took advantage of that cluster, whatever, in the front. Wow.
Oh, man.
Tristan, look at him come back.
Yeah, look at that. Fantastic move. Michael Urban. Oh, this is going to be tight for all three of these guys going around the corner. And right now, Kyle Kroxall is hoping somebody makes a mistake. Oh, and there is a mistake, but it's going to be the two Frenchmen, Tristan Dujardil, Pacom Schmidt. Just by looping out across the finish line feet first, he manages it.
The flying Frenchmen, those are my boys right there. Ex-members of Team Prestige Worldwide. They looked unbelievable. Tristan relegated to third place, making a huge comeback. Kroxall calling for a DQ. I'm not sure what happened there, but to me that start was just incredible because we had four guys all dead even coming into this corner. Pacom says, wait a minute, I'm not getting in that mess. Stays to the outside and watch this. Now that is smart riding right there. Takes himself through clean. I don't know that anything happened. That was just some little bodies there. You can't say that little Tristan Dujardil took down Kroxall.
No, I don't think so.
No, not if anything, it was the other way around. So Kyle can be a little upset sometimes with things, but hey, sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're not, and you were not.
Well, I mean, he's a fierce competitor. He wants to win, and being in the overall standings on top, you know, he wants to win this thing. And Kyle Kroxall right now is in the finish line with our sideline reporter, Jade McCarthy.
Hey, Kyle, I saw you looking at the protest button. Take me through what went down there.
Around the first corner, just got bumped from behind. It wasn't disqualification there, but felt my foot get grabbed, and then I went down. So I thought it was a DQ there.
As you take this one and sort of let it sink in, what do you do moving forward here?
I've had a good season so far. Top two of these races count, and I've done well so far. So this will be my throwaway, but it's been a great time here at Fenway. Happy to be in Boston.
Continued good luck this season. Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks.
All right, well, unfortunately, Kyle Kroxall eliminated in the round of 32, and we've got more action coming up in the round of 16, quarterfinal action. All right, so we've seen some amazing action so far today. That round of 32 had pretty much everything you can imagine. We had some good battles. We had some heavy crashes. Any comments by you on that previous round, Reed?
I know, I'm loving the way this track is laying out for all the riders because it's making so much action. I mean, from the spine to the rollers at the end to the BF Goodrich 180 turn, like stuff is happening. Bodies are moving all over. It's unreal.
All right, well, being the first time that an ice cross downhill race has been in a location like this, the event organizers and staff here at Fenway Park, along with Hangman Productions, spent a long time planning the transformation of a baseball stadium to accommodate the Red Bull crashed ice.
Trying always to adapt to the location. Like, I'm trying to get the soul of the location. The start ramp, which starts on top of the bleachers, that leads you down to the field. You feel like you go down the bleachers on skates, and then here, when we get in the last 100 meters or so, we have we're touching all 4 bases of the diamond till the home bases.
The process first in this particular park, actually, we had to cover the field. The trickiest part of bringing this in is there is one door inside the stadium, and a truck doesn't fit through that door. To build the steel itself took 11 days, and then we had to sheet it with plywood, lay down the chilling mats, build the boards. All in all, it took about 3.5 weeks just to build the track. We have over 3 kilometers of tubing here just laid out together to make this 360-meter track. In some of the steeper transitions, we actually put in some aluminum runners that'll help hold the water as we water it. And it is a slow misting process, almost like a light rain, so that the ice builds evenly and doesn't clump in certain areas to try and create the smoothest surface that we can.
Being here just gives me goosebumps, standing in the middle of the field just by that amazing track that we built in the last months. That's really a crazy feeling.
Well, all that effort from the teams that were responsible for this event site and building this track has really paid off, Reed. I mean, you said it yourself. You've skated this thing about 50 times and would continue skating it because it is just such a fantastic track.
Yeah, it's pure ecstasy, honestly. Like, I could just keep going and going and going, especially racing with 3-4 guys like down this thing. It's so much fun. Can't get enough.
All right, looking back at some of the highlights from the round of 32, and this is a heat that we had with, you know, just carnage right at that Kia curved turn. We saw Marco Delago shoulder check that curved turn, and that wasn't going to give up. And Matt Johnson and Dan Whitty actually, or was that Tyler Whitty? Excuse me, yeah, Tyler Whitty battling hard, but it was Paavo Lintrup with the lead on this one, and the retiree will be heading into the mist after this event, so he wants to do well here, and so far he's got himself through the round of 64, the round of 32. Let's see how well he does moving on to the quarterfinals, which he will be seen with Matt Johnson. And here you see again, you know, your comments on that. That's an ouch.
Yeah, Johnson just got a little bump on him and threw him right into that corner, man. He was coming in hot.
Oh, and then, of course, this heat right here with the reigning, or not reigning, but the points leader currently, Kyle Croxall, right there. He goes down hard with Tristan Duchadil getting tangled up with him. And meanwhile, Michael Urban and Paco Schmidt take the lead and are out in front on this one.
Yeah, it's a real testament to Tristan Duchadil on this one. I mean, watch how far back he is. I mean, to be able to come back on guys like Urban and Paco Schmidt, Tristan actually ends up taking the lead on this one, which is just absolutely incredible. That comeback, these two Frenchmen, they've had some difficulties in some of the earlier races, but both of them moving on to the quarters. Kudos to you.
Yeah, and so it is the two Frenchmen, Paco Schmidt and Tristan Dujour-Dill, coming across the finish line, and we'll see them in the quarterfinals. And our current points leader is out early in the race here, so as he said in the interview earlier on with Jade, this is going to be his throwout race, and then he'll hope to do well in the ATSX 500 races that are coming up later in the month. All right, so moving on to the quarterfinal, and our first heat in quarterfinal number 1 with Cameron Nas, Jim DePauli, Cale Johnstone, and Shane Renaud. Now, Cameron loves this track, and when he loves a track, you know he's going to be fast on it. But Jim DePauli's been good out of the gate, so let's see how he does against the former world champion. Jim DePauli right there with Cam Nas as they go around that Kia curve turn. Cale Johnstone trying to find that line from behind. And he gets passed on the inside nicely by Shane Renaud, who's actually in 3rd place, not 2nd. Cameron Nas holding it down. He's got to be real careful here. He doesn't want to get eliminated too soon. He wants to have this one and a good win under his belt. It looks like he's going to have no problem across the finish line. And Shane Renaud, look at that.
Whoa, that was
going to be photo finish between Shane Renaud and Jim DePauli, I think.
Well, I think Cale was in there too. Honestly, I think Renaud got it pretty easily. But what was amazing is Jim DePauli would have had him, but he ran into the back of Renaud. Like Renaud kind of slid in his line and blocked him out kind of nicely. That was an incredible finish.
Yeah, 3-way finish, but I think you're right there with Shane Renaud coming across that line with just the slightest advantage. Easy win for Cam Nas.
See, now DePauli's actually gaining speed in Renaud, but runs right into the back of him. And you can see there, I think Renaud got it just by a tad, but
Jim
what
DePauli's
a finish.
got pretty long legs, though. Maybe that stretch did it for him. Who knows? We'll see.
If he wouldn't have ran to the back of him, he would have had it. Oh,
I don't. Yeah. That's going to be a tight one. That's definitely photo finish. Oh, my God, it is. It's Renaud. Just by a hair, though, hey?
All 3.
Unbelievable. Cale Johnstone not that far off the mark either. That was a great battle for that spot.
Yes, sir!
Man, that heat number 1 just set the tone for the rest of the day. Unbelievable. Okay, back to the top. Michael Julianello, Scott Croxall, Dan Whitty, and Boris Oravec. Now, the guy that we're going to talk about a lot here is Boris Oravec. He's been amazing to watch today.
Yeah, this will be a true test.
Nice start. Iggy and Scott Croxall. Michael Julianello, otherwise known as Iggy, right in there behind Scott Croxall, who's got a tentative lead at this point over the Sam Adams drop. Down through the Boston drop, coming up to the BF Goodrich tire corner. That is a tough one. You know, put on the brakes real hard and then he gets skating again. Scott Croxall over the spine. Iggy right there with him. Here comes some guys on the outside. Oh my goodness, it's near carnage at the finish line, but Michael Julianello actually got a foot across just ahead of Scott Croxall, but it doesn't matter. Scott Croxall moving on from the quarters to the semis with Michael Julianello.
Yeah, Oravec even was coming in hot there at the end.
Yeah.
Cannot count this guy out. You can see even Whitty, everybody's coming real close at this end. Oravec's got his own little move he does over that spine on the inside, which really gives him a lot of speed. It obviously wasn't enough here, but props to him making a quarterfinal with athletes like Whitty, Croxall, and Iggy. Unreal.
It was a casual skate across the finish line for Croxall and Julianello. I liked it.
Let's go. Here we go. Woo! Let's go!
Man, the number of time that Scott's banged that camera from Mike down in the finish area, he's going to need a new lens after this one. All right, so back up to the top. Couple of good clean heats so far in quarterfinal. Here we go with number 3 with Mirko Lahti, Tommy Meritz, Pavel Klintrup, and Matt Johnson. A bunch of fast starters. I don't know where to go with this one on my choice of who's going to lead out of the gate.
Warning.
I'm calling Tommy Meritz.
I'm going to go Mirko Lahti. Oh, I jinxed him. I I jinxed him. Mirko Lahti goes down, toe picking off the top of that ledge, and he is well back, and it looks like he's almost given up the skate. Tommy Merritt's out in front, Matt Johnson right behind him. Come on, half speed.
This would be big for half speed. Does not make a semi too often.
Nope.
If he can hold it together, but Klintrup wants to go out with a bang on his final race. Let's see how this finishes.
That's a nice clean corner by Tommy and Matt, and he's going to get it. So Tommy Merritt and Matt Johnson moving on. Paavo Klintrup and Mirko Lahti, the two Finns eliminated in the quarterfinals here. Was expecting a lot more from Mirko Lahti, obviously being a new up-and-comer, coming from the juniors last year, and is now forced to skate in the seniors here. Watch this.
Great start by Tommy Mertz. I called it. Just dominating. Look at Lahti, just one too many strides and boom, went right down in that start. Now Johnson, awesome race for him, stayed really tight in Mertz. Mertz is looking really solid on this track. Let's watch this again. Lahti coming down. What happened here? A little bit of a toe pick. It's, you know, when you stride down hills like that, something can always go wrong no matter how many times you do it. Skating downhill is difficult, and show one of the best guys in the business, Mirko Lahti, down and out early, but open the door for Johnson. Moving on to the semis with Mertz. Congratulations.
All right, Jade is with Mirko right now to get his reaction on that trip.
Mirko, take me up there. What went down?
I just teed my skate bad on the ice and took nice air there.
Well, you're smiling about it, so you're taking it in stride. What did you make of this experience inside the stadium at Fenway Park?
It's amazing to be here first time inside the stadium. It's awesome.
How disappointing is it to be out and not be able to continue racing tonight?
A little bit disappointed, but I got good results on crushed ice, so I'm still happy.
Well, congratulations on the accomplishment, the defending world champ. Great to have you with us.
All right, two-time junior world champion with a lot of skill, and Tommy Merritt and Matt Johnson cleaning up home base here as they get ready to bat one out of the park, hopefully in the next rounds. And we go back to the top with Luca Delago from Austria, Tristan Dujardil and Pacom Schmidt, both from France, and Antti Tolvanen from Finland.
Riders ready. 5-second warning.
Luca Delago with a solid start, and the two Frenchmen, Pacom Schmidt and Tristan Dujardil, chasing him hard, blocking out Antti Tolvanen, but Tolvanen makes a nice move around the outside underneath the track, but just can't quite make the pass. Luca Delago holding on to the lead over the Boston drop, coming up towards the BF Goodrich tire turn. Puts a hand down, solidifies himself out in front. Dujardil and Schmidt now bumping with each other. Dujardil in second, now he's in third. Schmidt in second, loops out. Dujardil comes across the line in second place with Luca Delago. Oh my goodness. And Pacom Schmidt is shaking his head. He knew he tried a little too hard and looped out on that last roller and gave it to his compatriot, Tristan Dujardil.
You know, that same exact move with those two happened in reverse the round before. It was Dujardil going down, but lucky for him that the guys were far enough behind, he still took the finish. Let's watch this. These two so even, so similar in form and riding ability, but Pacom just whooped out there, for lack of a better explanation, and went down. Too bad for him, but Tristan Dujardil happy to be moving on with Luca Delago. Luca looking spectacular on this track. Look at him salute the crowd. Happy to be here, I'm sure.
All right, semifinals are set, and coming up, we got some good ones, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch those. So a lot of people think, yeah, okay, it's ice and you can skate it. Now, if I can skate on a flat arena, you can do it here. Well, I'll tell you what, it's not. U.S. hockey team member Hillary Knight and crashed ice athlete Miriam Trepanier last skated together on flat ice a decade ago as competitors in college. They reunited on the ice here in Boston as Miriam gave Hillary a crash course in how to skate at the crashed ice.
How's it going? Good. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Like 10 years.
Yeah.
Took a little different path, you and I.
Yeah.
From the days of the WCHA. First time at Crash Ice?
It is. I've seen it through TV, but I've never been here live.
Instead of defending you this time, I'm going to be teaching you how to go down this beast.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Come on and get me. Let's keep it running.
She's teaching me how to jump over the different hops, I guess, in the course. My first one I didn't listen, and I just tried to jump it the way that I thought, and I went flying. At first it was terrifying, and then it became exciting, and now it's really thrilling. I mean, it's one thing to watch it on TV, and then another thing to actually be on the course and experience very slowly what the pros experience.
I think she did really great. She learned the jumps pretty quickly. She definitely has a really strong stride, so I think, you know, once hockey's over for her, maybe she could transition to doing this. Maybe I'll be her personal coach, who knows.
So Hillary Knight is a member of the women's U.S. hockey team, and that tells you all you need to know about her ability on skates, and even she was a little bit befuddled by the skills required to skate an ice cross downhill track. And we're going to take a quick look at some of the highlights from our women earlier on, as we have a couple of good races here for us. Now, Jacqueline Leger.
Always a favorite among the women.
Yeah. Along with Miriam Trepanier in this one. These two basically got out of the gate early and took it from there.
Yeah, real easy run for those two. The other girls were really not challenging them all, but it was a good run for Miriam to kind of judge of how Jacqueline's doing, because she's going to have to pass her later in the heat to win this thing. So see Jacqueline almost spinning out there at the end, coming up the roller section. Both of them looking really clean down to the bottom. Beautiful move on the spine and hammering those rollers. Very clean run for those two.
So Jacqueline Leger and Miriam Trepanier will be moving on to the semifinals, which we'll have for you next. And you can see here one more time that Kia curve turn. It is a tight spot to go through, and we actually saw in that one Melina Leldes, who is a really tall skater, just didn't have enough break. And look at the rut that they've got here. They found this massive rut in one of the turns, and that's the stuff that a lot of people that are skaters have to contend with when they're going down the course here. It is insane, some of the damage that happens on these tracks.
You can see another one there to the right. I mean, that's the kind of thing that'll completely take you out real quick. You hit that, don't see it, you're done.
It'll remove your skate for you if you're not careful. All right, so women's semifinal, heat number 1 is blocked in the gate with Amanda Trunzo, reigning world champion. Maxi Plant, who has been fantastic out of the gate lately, and she's been really good. Tamara Mavison is another one we really got to keep a close eye on, and Junko Yamamoto from Japan in the mix here as well. Nice start by Mavison, Trunzo, and Plant. Plant takes the lead here around that first Kia curve turn. Yamamoto goes down, but she pops right back up as our women avoid that big gash in the track. Trunzo, Plant, and Mavison making a move here at the BF Goodrich tire corner. Now she is in second place behind Trunzo, the two Americans. Amanda Trunzo out in front, Tamara Mavison heading towards the third base spine in this last corner. And Amanda Trunzo is looking just damaging. Oh, and Maxi Plant tries to push a leg across and takes out Tamara Mavison, and that one's going to go to photo finish.
Wow, they rocked each other. That was quite the race there.
Again?
Coming down to the very finish. We're going to have a photo review on that. You know, the thing I've seen in Tamara Mavison last night in the LCQ, she was way more confident on the track, really kind of taking control. She hadn't really done that tonight until like halfway down this run. And right there, I cannot tell who got it, but those two hit pretty hard there.
I kind of think that Mavison's going to get it, but oh no.
Maxi Plant.
Maxi Plant just got the stretch.
Good side angle there. So Maxi Plant coming from behind, not giving up.
Yeah, we got to get the final confirmation by our video judge and our photo shoot judge that it is in fact going to be Maxi Plant. That would be a big deal for her because it would be, I believe, the second time that Maxi Plant's ever gone to a final.
You guys like this too much?
Just waiting for the final official decision on our photo finish.
Might as well make a statement about Trunzo here because she sure is on the track. I mean, she dominated that heat. I don't know how anybody's going to touch her unless she makes a mistake tonight. She is looking really good.
Yeah, basically what it boils down to is it's her race to lose.
Absolutely.
So Amanda Trunzo with a clear 5-meter lead and a fantastic stretch by Maxi Plant. They get tangled up in a heap going into the crash pad at the end.
Now the factor I could see played here is the out of control over the line thing. You know, she really kicked out. She fell after, which made those two hit each other. So Mavison's protesting, and I think what she's protesting is the slide. It's funny that Mavison got taken out for a lot less, and you can see Mavison is moving on.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of karma because Mavison had, those two had the exact same finish in Yokohama, and they each took one of them. So,
all right, well, judges sided with Mavison on this one. Back to the top for semifinal heat number 2. Anaïs Morand, Myriam Trepanier, Jacqueline Leger, Tamara Kaya. Anaïs Morand with a great start. Jacqueline Leger, who normally has a better start, was a little bit slow out of the gate, but Anaïs got relegated back to second place because Myriam Trepanier was just a bit better on her line choice around those corners. Jacqueline Leger has been struggling a bit on this course this weekend, had to come through the last chance qualifier, so obviously not feeling this course as much, but right now she's battling herself into second position behind Myriam Trepanier, and Anaïs Morand has to do something here if she wants to get across that line, and she may well do it, pushing hard. Oh my goodness!
Wow, what a battle, what a battle.
Jacqueline Leger made a mistake on the rollers, and it is Morand that's getting through, and she is over the moon after a huge mistake in Yokohama. A good finish for her in Jyväskylä, and now she is going to be moving on to the final with Myriam Trepanier. Let's look at this again.
And actually, Jacqueline had a really good comeback getting to this position, but Anaïs just did not give up. Jacqueline kind of swaddles in that finish area, and look at Anaïs coming through. Amazing.
It's almost like a changing of the guard here, as Jacqueline Leger has just struggled a little bit to find the line here. This isn't her course, and look at that one more time. Anaïs Morand with the foot, and she, right now, Jacqueline Leger is with Jade in the finish area.
Jacqueline, take me through that race, because you started a little behind, pushed your way into second place, and then just crazy finish at the end. What did it feel like to you?
You know, this course has lots of opportunities to pass and trade places, so tried my best, but the rollers got me, and as you've seen, there's lots of action on these rollers.
How would you describe this course overall for you throughout the course of the weekend?
This course is super fun. I love it. It's technical, it's fast, and keeps it interesting.
And the stadium, what do you make of it?
I love it. It's a great crowd, great environment.
Continued good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Boston.
So Myriam Trepanier, Anaïs Morand will be moving on. And that means our final and our consolation final for the women is set. We are now going to see who is going to go into our consolation final and final for the men. Semi-final heat number 1 coming up for our men with Cameron Noss, Michael Iulianello, Scott Croxall, and Shane Renaud. Interesting here, Cameron Noss and Scott Croxall, the two good friends and who have battled back and forth and had, you know, interchanging championships the last few years, are in the same heat. Let's see how they do together.
5-second warning.
Well, they're right beside each other. Scott Croxall, Cameron Haas with a good start. Cameron with the slight advantage. Michael Julianello squeaking in there at the Kia curve turn. Makes a little misstep, and Scott Croxall takes advantage too, moving to second place behind Cameron Haas. Cameron Haas knows that he has an incredible athlete right on his tail with Scott Croxall. These guys have trained together. They skate together all season long. They're good friends, but on the track, there is no love lost. Julianello trying to find the outside line. Scott Croxall blocking well. Will he have enough leg? Yes, he does. It's going to be a heap of humans at the crash pad, but it's Cameron Haas and Scott Croxall going to the final.
That was tight.
That was tight.
Croxall got it. There was a little bit of, I don't know, contact up front for me on that Kia corner. You know, Croxall was in third position coming around the outside. And obviously him coming into the back of Iggy is what threw Iggy off and basically relegated him into third position. So unfortunately, I don't think it was a DQ, just rubbing. But right here, real good finish. Iggy coming to the outside, but Scott just kept it strong and took it.
I'm not sure where they're seeing the photo finish there. Clear win for Cam Haas. Scott Croxall for me, yeah, that was no problem. There was a good half meter between skates of Scott Croxall and Michael Julianello.
Let's fucking go here. Yeah, baby.
Beep.
Yeah, your beep was a bit late. So Cam Haas, Scott Croxall will be moving on to the final. And we go back to the top for semi number 2 with Luca Delago, Tristan Dujardil, Tommy Mertz, and Matt Johnson.
Riders ready.
Tough one.
5-second warning.
Great start again by Luca Delago. He's been so solid out of the gate. Takes a tight line around that Kia curve turn. Matt Johnson right there with Luca. Tommy Mertz trying to find a bit of space away from Tristan Dujardil. Luca Delago opening up a bit of a lead here towards the BF Goodrich tire turn.
Tommy Mertz, nice pass on Johnson.
Really nice pass.
Dujardil coming in on the outside.
Oh no! Luca Delago.
Dujardil, nice pass on the inside.
And Dujardil with, as you called it, the great pass on the inside. And you saw that happening, Reed. Makes second place to move on to the final.
Wow, there's some sick passes in that run. Johnson, nice race for him in first place.
Oh, no.
Mertz makes a sick pass, and then Dujardil squeaky clean slides in the backside and takes it, moving on to the final with Luca Delago. Let's watch this coming over the spine. Tristan just takes it a little better, keeps his footing, an easy pass. Nice. My fella Ginger getting it done.
And Tristan Dujardil was, he's pumped about that. Unfortunate for Matt Johnson and Tommy Mertz. They both are disappointed come across, none more than Tommy Mertz, because he had good position up there at that last turn and just let it go. But it's going to be Luca Delago and Tristan Dujardil moving on to the final. We'll see Matt Johnson and Tommy Mertz skate one more time here in the consolation final with Michael Julianello and Shane Renaud. And we are at our finals, all ready to rock and roll. All right, on board right now for our POV cam with Guillaume Bouvet-Morissette. You can see just how much action is going out on the course here from our rider's eye view. And I mean, you know better than anybody, Reed, what it's like to be on course.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can kind of get a sense of how high speed this is. You see Guillaume coming in real tight here, trying to make a move on Renaud. Doesn't quite get it. Now we're in the back seat with Gab Renaud. See some action here, how tight the guys get. I mean, it is literally shoulder to shoulder on this track.
And imagine those strides. You were talking about this earlier, skates banging each other. When you're that tight, boy, you can fall down super easy.
Oh, so easy. It's click, 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 click. I mean, you're banging skates, banging shoulders, rubbing, racing, baby.
And on board now with Elaine Toponiski.
Good shot, just seeing exactly how smooth Amanda Trunzo is. I mean, she is honestly flawless on most of these runs. Handles every feature to perfection, knows where to take strides, knows where to lock it up and get low and get aerodynamic.
And this was also a very good run from Junko Yamamoto, who you could see she's also, I mean, relatively speaking, new to the sport on the women's side, but has been improving event to event. So very, very solid returns for her each time she comes out on course. And since Yokohama, we've had a lot more Japanese athletes participating, which is great to see.
Look at that dude dancing on the Jumbotron. He is just killing it right now.
He's Irima. All right, so small final, Jacqueline Legere, Tamara Kaya, Junko Yamamoto. This one is going to be for positions 5, 6, and 7. We only have 3 athletes in this one.
Riders ready. 5-second warning.
Good start by Jacqueline Legere, Tamara Kaya finding her line in behind her. Junko Yamamoto bringing up the rear in 3rd place. It's going to be just 3 in this one because Maxi Plant was DQ'd, so does not have the opportunity to skate the last point, unfortunately. Jacqueline Legere, a little wobble there, but keeps it clean, heading towards this drop quarter into the 3rd base spine. And she's got a nice clean win here. She's going to gain some points on this one, so not the win she was hoping for, but she will walk away with a few points, coming in 5th place for the event.
Yeah, it's nice to have this small final, a little redemption for Jacqueline. You know, it wasn't the best semi for her, but at least she ends on a good note with a win. 5th position with this field of girls is a great finish.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so much competition among them now with all these women training year-round. I mean, the level just keeps up and up and up every year. You can see the moves Jacqueline, Tamara make there. Super clean over the spine. Look at them in the rollers. Great race.
Yeah, good technique and style as well through this entire heat for all 3 of our women in this consolation final. There you have it, Jacqueline Legere, Tamara Kaya, and Junko Yamamoto, 1, 2, and 3 respectively. And they're enjoying themselves. Why not? We're in Fenway Park in Boston, folks. Come on. All right, we're going to set it up now, though, because we have our women's final. Amanda Trunzo has been more or less unbeatable, but she was behind in points, behind Jacqueline Legere, just by sheer fact that she didn't skate 2 or 3 events. And here we go, celebrating this final with Amanda Trunzo from the USA, Anaïs Moran from Switzerland, who has been improving event to event, learning every time. Miriam Trepanier, who's been a fixture and always in the mix, and Tamara Mavison, who for me is one of those athletes that's popped into the scene and has absolutely figured it out right away. And there we see the Swiss skater, Anaïs Moran, Amanda Trunzo, the reigning women's world champ. She wants another one. Miriam Trepanier, looking a bit nervous right now, to be honest with you. And Tamara Mavison, she of the 4 at the top has the least to lose, so she can enjoy this one as we count down to our women's final here at Fenway Park in Boston.
Riders ready. 5-second warning.
All right, here we go on course with our women's final. Great start again by Amanda Trunzo. Miriam Trepanier trying to squeeze in and find a line. Tamara Mavison looking like she was going to take 2nd, but Miriam Trepanier a bit longer legs, better position on that corner, and down through this long straight set of drops to Sam Adams, the Kia, and the Boston drop into the BF Goodrich tire corner. Trepanier and Trunzo battling hard. Oh, Trunzo almost toe-picked and went down on that quarter drop over the spine, and it is the 2 of them out in front. Trunzo's got this one. She wins it. Boston is hers. Miriam Trepanier on the podium in 2nd place, and Tamara Mavison comes across in 3rd place for a podium finish. That is fantastic. What a finish.
Wow. Miriam Trepanier, great race by her. Tamara Mavison, up and comer. I think it's on her first podium here, so congrats to her. All the gals tonight, awesome racing. Trunzo, like we talked about, just completely dominant. If she doesn't make a mistake at this point, there's really nobody that can beat her.
Amanda Trunzo was very strong on this course this weekend. She did not lose a race. Here we go.
Now breaking down this replay, you know, one mistake that was made here. Trepanier really had that start. If she would have slid over a little earlier, she could have boxed out Trunzo and possibly changed this outcome, but she didn't pinch her off. She left the door open, and Trunzo rolled right through, right down to the finish. You can see a little step up there. Didn't cost her though. Trepanier right on her. 1, 2, 3, Trunzo, Trepanier, Mavison. Great race.
Anais Moran had a little bit of trouble up higher on the course. Didn't see what actually happened. I don't think she went down, but I got to be honest with you, Tamara Mavison, as I said, has been a real pleasant surprise here with the way that she's been skating. Her performances have been very, very strong.
There you see Tamara Mavison hugging some of the fans of Trunzo.
All right, Amanda Trunzo, our winner here in Boston, is with Jade in the finish area.
On the race tonight, take me through this course and what it was like for you.
Yeah, you know, some ruts formed in that final. There was some spray paint up there, so I tried to avoid that. But as always, I try to keep my feet moving that whole entire time, and it took me to the end.
What is it like for you to take this win home? You went to college not too far from here up at Dartmouth. You got family and friends around you at Fenway Park.
Yeah, you know, I got a bunch of Dartmouth college girls in the stands, thank you. Friends and family over here, so feels amazing to take it on home soil here in Boston.
And the stadium experience for the first time for Red Bull Crushed Ice, how do you like it?
Yeah, it was amazing. This is great for the sport to have it inside a stadium, so thank you, Fenway. Thank you to the crew. You guys are great.
Amanda, congratulations. I believe there's a ring that's going to be coming your way.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Ooh, look at that. Yeah. That's one big ring. It's almost bigger than her hand.
Yeah, but you know, it's so wholly appropriate for this particular location. It is a championship ring. And yeah, I mean, even the girl that brought her over, the ring, could barely lift the thing out of the box. That is a absolute huge piece of jewelry. And she deserved it. Absolutely deserved it.
Congrats to Amanda Trunzo. Definitely on the road to getting another world championship for her.
Yep. There are still 2 more events in the ATSX Ice Cross Downhill World Championship Series. We have 2 ATSX 500 events coming up after Boston. First one in Montulac, and then the last one in La Sarre, and that will be the determining factor for Amanda Trunzo. But here, the results in Boston, Amanda Trunzo on top, Miriam Trepanier with another fantastic performance. And I got to be honest with you, Tamara Mavison, for me, was the rising star here. Anais Moran, she did a great job. I mean, 4th place. She's staying consistent. She's learning every time. She's doing a great job. But right now, Amanda Trunzo is the dominant skater for the women. There's just really no chance for anybody else for taking down Amanda Trunzo, barring a mistake that she makes herself.
I would totally agree with that. All that training truly pays off.
And it doesn't hurt that you're training with a guy like Cameron Nas, who we know is motivated and focused to have another world championship under his belt.
I'm sure there's always a thing or two to learn from the best, no question.
Absolutely, no doubt about it.
Can I get some different guards? Hey, can I get some different guards? Good job. Hey, I don't know these ones.
All right, so it is down to the men's consolation final now with Tommy Mertz, Michael Iulianello, Shane Renaud, and Matt Johnson. Matt Johnson praising I don't know who up there. The Lord of the Chopper. And he prepares to hit one out of the park. Here we go with our consolation final for places 5, 6, 7, and 8 here in Boston. Out of the gate. Wow, really nice start by Shane Renaud, but he bobbles a little bit coming down that drop. And it is Tommy Merritt's out in front underneath the bridge and heading towards the Sam Adams deck drop. Michael Julianello trying to find some speed and an inside line on Tommy Merritt's at the BF Goodrich tire turn. Almost does. Merritt's has the better line though on that left-hand turn off the drop around the corner to the third base spine, and it's going to be a nice clean win on this consolation for Tommy Merritt's. Julianello in second and Matt Johnson in third. So it's 3 Americans across that finish line for positions 5, 6, 7. And then Shane Renaud takes position 8 here in Boston at Fenway Park. What an experience for these guys.
Yeah, great heat, great night for the Americans. Coming in 4 spots in the top 8 with Nas potential to win this whole thing. See a lot of fans up there. Let's watch this replay. Tommy Mertz been super solid out of the gate, had that inside line. Iggy couldn't quite get in, and it was just a foot race, and Mertz came out on top. Really, Iggy had no chance throughout the race to come in. Mertz kept closing the door on all the open opportunities. Back Renaud, Johnson. It was really a battle for third at this point, and Johnson comes out on top. You see him doesn't give up, coming on this drop. I think we got Shane Renaud making a little mistake over this roller. Johnson had more speed and takes him at the end.
All right, well, we had that view all the way from top to bottom with the Skycam, and actually, Reed, you were in the box with the Skycam guys yesterday and got a chance to operate that thing, which is kind of fun, I'm guessing.
It was incredible. So blessed to get the opportunity. I was flying that thing all over the place, trying not to hit anything. Thank God I did. I think that thing cost a pretty penny.
Yeah, and I mean, what a bonus for us to have that piece of equipment here in Fenway Park. And now it is time to set our gate up for the men's final. This is what we've all been waiting to see. Cameron Noss there, waiting to get up top as we go down to the finish area one more time. Tommy Merritt and Michael Julianello having a bit of a giggle with each other. Matt Johnson, great job to take that third place in that last seat. What we're going to talk about now is our men's final. And who do we have in this one? Well, of course, we know it's going to be Cameron Noss in there, along with Tristan Dujardil, who had a great set of races today to get himself there. And what a set of extenuating circumstances, I guess we can say, for the Frenchman to get there, you know, battling through and getting a bit connected with his compatriot, Pacom Schmidt, and then Pacom Schmidt looping out and making it wide open for Tristan to make the final.
Yeah, no question, but that being said, you know, to me, these 4 guys in the final, you know, are arguably the best riders in the world, but for sure, to me, they are the most skilled and technical. These 4 are the most technical riders in the sport. I have not seen these exact 4 in a final together. This is a technical track, fast track. It's going to make for a real exciting final.
It's right up their alley, and the fireworks go again to celebrate this big final here for our men. Let's meet our 4 contestants one-on-one. On the very left-hand side of your screen, you see in that white and yellow sleeve jersey is Luca Delago. We know he's very fast out of the start. He's got some greasy moves through the corners. So if anybody can make it through those corners, it's that man right there from Austria, Luca Delago. He had a couple of wins last season, one by default and one that was an honest, clean win. And he said at that honest, clean win, he wanted to have it that way. He doesn't want to win by default. He just wants to be able to cross that finish line in first, and he's going to be skating hard to make that happen tonight. Next to him, a big challenge to get past that man, Cameron Noss. He was the first ever athlete to win back-to-back World Championship titles, the first American to win a World Championship title. His first race was back in 2012, where he fell in love with the event, ice cross downhill. And what's happened? He's become a dominant force. Scott Croxall from Canada, the reigning world champion. He didn't have it back-to-back, but he's got 2 in the books. He is one of those guys that can do it on all types of courses and conditions. It took him a long time to get to the World Championship title, and he has earned it every step of the way. And then, of course, Tristan Dujardil, a very skilled technical rider. He can throw down the freestyle runs. He has got everything you need to win a contest. This is one of the most interesting gates we've had in a men's final in a long time. And like you said, Reed, very, very technical crew of riders up there. Let's check it out. Men's final.
Riders ready! 5-second warning!
And you can see the explosive start by Cam Nas. He saved it all for this one. Scott Croxall squeaks in there right behind him. Luca Delago trying to find that line as they go under the bridge. Cam avoiding that big gash in the deck of the ice. Cameron, Scott Croxall, 1 and 2 around the BF Goodrich tire turn. Luca Delago holding down third. Here's where it's going to get interesting. Luca Delago trying to find a line on the inside on Scott Croxall.
Nice pass.
Over the coal.
And Luca comes in.
Luca Delago does the second place with a fantastic pass on the inside of Scott Croxall, but Cameron Nas wins this one. And boy, was it a battle from bottom or from top to bottom. He did not want to let anything go. He knew Scott Croxall was right there with him, and Luca Delago with an intense heat to keep pace with Scott Croxall and take the inside line. And it's going to photo review at the finish line, and I think that's going to be for that second position. But I do believe that Luca Delago took second place away from Scott Croxall with a sneaky, greasy pass on the inside line. And there you see Marco Delago, his older brother, congratulating him. We got to wait for the official call here, but let's walk through this one again, Reed.
Yeah, that was an unreal heat. Obviously, Nas always has a way of picking it up a whole nother level, if not 2 or 3 levels in this final, as he just destroyed this track to perfection, sucking up everything perfectly, taking the final spine. But now this is the exciting part. Luca coming on the inside, Tristan on the outside. It is a battle for second place, and I think it went to Delago, Dujardil, and then Croxall relegated from second to 4th position, loses a podium as he lost his footing on the roller. But hey, what a race.
What a final, absolutely correct. Truer words couldn't be said, Reed. There you see Cameron Nas sweeping his hand. Let's see whose skates come across here. That would be Luca Delago's skate, and then I believe you're right, it's going to be Tristan Dujardil, but Tristan fell down at the finish line. Now we've said a fall isn't necessarily a DQ situation. Let's see if, in fact, our photo finish is going to go to Tristan Dujardil.
No, because his skates were in back. No, it's not your body, it's your skates. So
it's the skates that count. So Scott Croxall does have a podium here in 3rd place. Well done. What a battle, though, by Luca Delago to come in 2nd place. And I'll tell you, that has all the markings of a fun continuation of the battle between these guys. And right now, Jade is down with our winner here in Boston, Cameron Nas.
All right, Cameron, congratulations. You got the American flag draped around you. Take me through the final race tonight.
Honestly, I don't even know what happened in the final. I didn't look back at all, and I felt the boys on me, so good on everybody tonight. That was some good racing.
You had the fastest time in the time trials here, and you looked like you dominated this track from start to finish. What did you like about the track here at Fenway?
I liked that it was really technical. Took a quick start and just some tricky features, so it was right up my alley.
You talked last week in Finland about looking forward to getting here to Boston. Was it everything that you were hoping for?
I told you there was going to be a show. I was hungry for this one, and last week hurt, so this feels great.
The crowd here tonight, I saw you up there in the starting gate. Oh, yeah. You were trying to amp them up. What is this stadium experience like for you?
Oh, the crowd was amping me up. I don't think I was amping them up, so that was amazing. The crowd atmosphere is unreal. I hope we do a lot more of these. Thank you, Fenway.
How does this position you as you look forward to a World Championship?
This is huge for the World Championship. Honestly, I was scared all week to even look at the World Championship, so to replace that 17th last week in Finland with a 1st place is a big deal.
And what would it mean to you if you can take home another World Championship?
I'd love to take home another world championship, and if it happens this season, it would mean a lot because all the athletes are performing so well, so good on everybody.
This is a sport that you fell in love with several years ago, and you have come into dominating this sport as a two-time champ. And you're standing here in this old school ballpark, one of the oldest ballparks in the country. To see those two things come together, what is that like?
It's amazing, and it's such a historic ballpark, and I like to think that we made a little history here this weekend as well, so I hope everybody that was here tonight goes home and tells all their friends and family how amazing this sport is.
Congratulations, Cam. Continued good luck this season.
Thank you very much, and thank you to my family right over here. I love you guys. Oh, Red Bull in the eyes.
Well, Cameron Nas wins here, and after, like you heard him say, after a 17th place, toe picking in a hole in Avescula and going down in the round of 32, not optimal for Cameron Nas, but now he's got the win. The fireworks are going to celebrate here at Fenway Park in Boston. I mean, Reed, you know the adrenaline spike that you get up there at that start gate, and then everything calms down. What do you think's going through Cameron's head at that start gate just before knowing that he's got Luca Delago and Scott Croxall and Tristan Dujardil in that gate with him?
Absolutely nothing. No, for real. I mean, to be in the zone and be an athlete at this level, to be as good as Cameron Nas is, you cannot have anything in your head. There's no thought, there's no preparation, there's nothing you can do. Everything you have done to get ready for this race happened months, if not years before. At that point, if you can't let everything go before that gate opens, you cannot win, you cannot be a world champion, and you cannot perform at the level that Cameron Nas continues to perform at race after race after race, except when he hits a rut in the ice. So yeah, it's nothing. You don't know anything.
All right, looking at this run one more time here, and you can see Scott Croxall, as always, in a super solid position there behind Cam Nas. These two have battled so many times in the past, and you see that rut in the ice, and Cam Nas just made a really good effort of passing by. Luca Delago was a good 4 or 5 meters back from Scott Croxall as they hit this BF Goodrich turn. It was really in the latter half of the course where we saw most of the carnage happen earlier on in the earlier races that Luca Delago thrived.
That was an incredible pass at the end there. A couple crossovers off the top of that before the drop down is what made it happen. And then Tristan even coming around the far outside, coming through. Sick finish, great finale to an incredible race here at Fenway Park. I mean, this is probably my favorite race ever, not to mention Fenway alone, but just the race itself, the amount of controversy, the amount of passes, the amount of unexpected events that occurred.
It was amazing. So here we go with our final results here at Fenway Park in Boston. Cameron Nas, obviously, top spot. Luca Delago, a really amazing second place. You got to give that kid props. Scott Croxall, you know, he's always consistent. He's always solid. He got a third place. He's on the podium today. Tristan Dujardil, I mean, this guy, he showed a lot of gumption coming into this one and just really battling. It was one of the tightest races we've seen in a long time, and a really fun one to watch. So Cam Nas, Luca Delago, Scott Croxall on the podium here today. And Scott Croxall is down in the finish area now with Jade McCarthy.
All right, Scott, so you still finish on the podium in that third place spot. Not, of course, the first that you would have liked. Can you take me through that final race?
Yeah, it was a super good gate start for me. Better one for Nas, so hats off to him. Crazy crowd here. I was just amped up. I think I got a little too excited in that last 180 BF Goodrich turn and let Luca pass me there in the final. So, you know, a podium party's all I wanted, and happy to have all my friends and family here behind me supporting. So thanks a lot to them, and thanks a lot to Boston for an epic event.
You mentioned that getting a little overexcited maybe with this crowd. This is a new experience with us inside a stadium for Red Bull Crashed Ice. How much does that factor into it for you?
Yeah, it's an unbelievable experience. I hope we can do more of these events inside stadiums and keep growing this sport.
Where do you move forward here? Reigning champ, you obviously want to stay on top of that as you look forward the rest of the season?
Yeah, I'm just going to try and get a few more points in these next 2 Ryder Cups and see if I can get my 3rd World Championship. If not, there's still more years to come, and I'll just keep working on it.
Well, congratulations on the podium tonight. Continued good luck this season.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, Boston.
All right, a podium finish for Scott Croxall. Not the worst thing in the world. Obviously, he would have liked to have had 1 spot or 2 spots better, but that's just how it goes, and that's racing, like you always say, grinding and racing, rubbing and racing, and this track here has proved to be a very interesting one. You know, Reed, you mentioned it wasn't the most difficult track to race because of the technicality, though. There are a lot of spots on here where you could make a pass, you could be a little bit smarter with your line choice, and that really, you know, illustrate a little bit how that played into this last race we saw.
I would call it a deceivingly easy track, and what that means is a lot of the riders, even the lower level guys, can ride it and feel like they're doing well. But it's because they don't realize all the little spots where you can gain speed or lose speed by making the wrong move. Clearly the top guys really analyze and break down every spot where speed can be gained, and they do it better than the rest.
Wow.
And the cool thing about this track is there's like 10 spots where you can do things better than other people, and that is really what separates the pack. That's what makes the best the best.
All right, well, once again, we've got Cameron Naz on top of the ranking here. Luca Delago with a fantastic finish line pass on Scott Croxall for second place, and Scott Croxall, the third man on the podium. And you can definitely count this first ever stadium event for an ice cross downhill and a Red Bull Crashed Ice an absolutely successful event from a lot of different aspects, from the track, the way it was set up, from the public that was here, and obviously from the reaction of the skaters. Folks, that was all she wrote here at Fenway Park. Last words, Reed?
Happy to be here.
All right.
Wow, just look at that Fenway Park. I mean, it's still almost got to pinch myself to realize where we're at.
All right. This ATSX 1000 Red Bull Crashed Ice is the last one of the season, but there's still 2 ATSX 500 events to come from Mont-Trulac in the US and Lassar in Canada. So for Jade McCarthy and Reed Whiting, I'm Troy Mannering wishing you all the best heading into the hopefully warmer weather coming soon. Take care, everyone. Until next time.